in general, when you look at the bigger picture, I think that pretty much everyone will agree the MCU is not as strong as it used to be. Now, I put out a short not too long ago talking about 3 reasons why people don't trust the MCU the way they used to. This video is going to be an extension of that. I'm going to go a bit more in depth. I think that, first of all, because there's been a lot more MCU content coming out now than before, because of the combination of movies and Disney Plus shows, it's led to people being like, there's too much coming out, I can't keep up with all this. And also, related to that, Phase 4 specifically put out too much content too quickly, where we're getting 3 movies and 3 to 4 seasons of Disney Plus television every year. So people are like, this is too much, it's too hard for you to keep up. But another problem is that now when something is set up, like a celestial being in the Indian Ocean, Arishem kidnapping some of the Eternals, Hercules coming into the picture, Doctor Strange seemingly going into the Dark Dimension, Moon Knight being introduced, all of Egyptian mythology. We don't know when we're going to follow up on these characters or plot threads, and so it's frustrating now as compared to before. It's not as exciting as it used to be, because we're like, well, when am I going to see any of the Eternals again? When am I going to see Moon Knight again? When are we actually going to get MCU's version of X-Men? When are we going to do the Young Avengers? We don't know. Also, another problem is that Marvel failed to do Kane properly. As much as Jonathan Majors gave a good performance in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the way that movie played out just made us feel like, oh, whatever, Kane's supposed to be this big, bad, intimidating villain. Well, that's not what I'm thinking. It seemed like he was defeated pretty easily, so I'm not really scared of Kane. And why do I think that the Avengers are needed to stop him? Ant-Man and some ants were able to beat him, so, whatever, who cares? And then, of course, Jonathan Majors was found guilty of harassment and assault, so now we don't know who the next big bad in the MCU is going to be. Meaning that now us fans are in a position where it's like, where are we going? What direction is the franchise heading in moving forward? It's not clear at this point. And then on top of that, Phase 4 did not end with an Avengers film or any kind of team-up film. It failed to make the audience understand where exactly the franchise is going. And then because movies like Eternals, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania are actually definitively rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, have a low cinema score, that caused the bubble to kind of burst. Because before Eternals came out, people trusted the MCU more than they do now. Because every single movie was fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Even Iron Man 2, For the Dark World, Captain Marvel, some of the Marvel films people don't like as much are still fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. But then when Eternals came out, I think people are like, oh, I didn't think the day would ever come when any MCU film would be rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, but here we are. This movie is rotten. It got a low cinema score. Same thing happened with the movie that was supposed to kick off Phase 5. So the problem, I think, is that at this point, people have repeatedly been disappointed by recent MCU content, and so they're less excited. And then I think another problem is shows like She-Hulk just going too meta, being too confrontational with the people who are watching the show, because She-Hulk feels like it was designed as a way to troll its potential trolls. Like, there's meta commentary in there about the people who are watching the show giving feedback on it. That's very weird. And then when you add on top of that the fact that people don't trust Disney overall as much as they used to anymore. Tend to be more cynical and jaded. For Disney, it means we don't trust the MCU the way that we used to. Admittedly, I think that it's good that recently Bob Iger has flat out said there will be a slowdown when it comes to new movies or TV shows coming out. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a good thing to say. That's what the MCU needs right now. Just put the foot on the brake, slow down, make new MCU content feel like it's an event again, and that hasn't been the case recently.